Hello, Ray Phoenix here. Welcome to Let's Play Spyro for Year of the Dragon Part 2. Hunter is going to give us another lesson on gliding and hovering. He already told us this stuff in Spyro 2, but he's reminding us about it again. But this has already been drilled in our head. We haven't been playing this game for very long, and it's already been drilled into our heads as to how we glide and hover, which is, was shown to us in Spyro 2. He gave us an award for it in Spyro 2, like a little, something that should have been like a, like the most greatest greatest glider slash hoverer in Avalar, and now we're gonna win that same award, but this time it's gonna be for doing it in the Sunrise Spring world, which is in the opposite end of the dragon worlds, or worlds that were once inhabited by dragons, where it'll take us into this cave here. There's this blue liquid everywhere. There's this first power-up we'll find that Zoe's explaining us how it works. It's gonna give us infinite flying abilities. We saw the same thing in Spyro 2. Where it gets flyer. Well, before I do that, I'm just gonna collect all the gems. There's mostly a lot of gems in here. I think there's even an egg in here too. Hunter gave us an egg, of course. There's another egg hidden in this level, because pretty much all Spyro ever collects in this game are just eggs and gems, gems and eggs, make cook fried eggs over the stove, maybe throw some gems in there too to make it. I wonder what that would taste like if you cooked a gem and had it break or something like that. I don't know, do dragons even eat gems? I don't know. I don't even know what dragons do with gems necessarily. Never really explained what their true purpose was in the first game. It was just some collectible thing that dragons seem to like to have. So we rescued Amy here, the dragon named Amy, or maybe it's pronounced Ami, like Ami from Hi Hi Puffy Ami Yumi, that show that my mom hates on Cartoon Network. My mom only likes the titles of that show, but she absolutely despises the show. And people on Discord say, why would you hate a show like that? It's a really awesome show with a great animation style and fun stories. Yeah, but it's kind of childish, like a lot of other shows. But it's actually more mature than a lot of the other stuff there is on Cartoon Network these days. No wonder why Cartoon Network is bleeding. Hunter's going to explain to us how to swim in this lake over here. Moneybags taught us how to do this in the first game when we bought the swim ability from him. As I've mentioned before, Spyro still has all the same abilities he had from the second game that he earned in the second game are brought forward into this game. So Spyro can very well swim in lakes and oceans again, and it works just like how it did in Spyro 2, where Spyro charge around. You can press and hold the X button to make Spyro slowly swim through the water, but I almost never use that. Charging's a lot faster, and you don't have to worry about running out of stamina or energy or anything like that, so we might as well just charge everywhere. It's a lot faster, especially when underwater, because Spyro actually swims kind of slowly underwater. It's much faster to just charge under the water. We already have 10 eggs. I've only been playing this game for like about 30 minutes now, or not even half an hour, and I already have 10 eggs. That's enough to unlock some of the other levels in this homeworld, this homeworld, the Sunrise Spring is what this is called. Yeah, because the homeworlds in this game, I think, are based on different times of the day. They were based on seasons in Spyro 2, but in this one they're based on times of the day. This is the Sunrise Spring, then there's the midday gardens, then there's the evening lake, and finally at the end there'll be the Midnight Mountain, where it's midnight at the end, where all the greatest boss battles, the greatest final battles in anything always take place. The most dramatic movie scenes are always shot at nighttime. I remember that from that movie Be Kind or Rewind, when they put the camera into negative mode so you could film a nighttime scene in the daytime. It makes your face look negative too, which isn't always the best unless you make negatives of your face and tape them over your face, and then that way the camera will film it as inverted, which would then be how you would normally look. This place is, of course, littered with gems. There's all these gems everywhere. Spyro really is a true collectathon of a game. I wonder what game has more stuff to collect, Spyro or Banjo-Kazooie? The more I think of it now, Spyro kind of was the Banjo-Kazooie for the PlayStation, and they even came out around the same time, too, or the same approximate years, too. Only Spyro got 3 games, and Banjo-Kazooie only got 2. Spyro's games are much more simpler and straightforward than the Banjo-Kazooie games. A lot of people apparently don't like Banjo-Tooie that much for that very reason, but everyone loves the original Banjo-Kazooie. I think Banjo-Kazooie is a pretty good game, even though I don't play it as much. I've been getting requests to do that game for a long time now. I guess that's one of the things, I only do Let's Plays of games that I've beaten before, games I know how to play and beat, and I never beat the original Banjo-Kazooie before.
I'm getting paid a fortune.
Oh, look, here's Moneybags. You see here, he has Sheila the kangaroo kept in that cage over there. And he says that if we pay him, if we bribe him, like 1920s Al Capone style, bribe him, he will let Sheila the kangaroo free. And I think we have enough gems, the main currency in this game, gems, to get Sheila the kangaroo free. So we're gonna do that. You might as well. There's no way you could get out of this homeworld without saving Sheila. I don't think so. He's just gonna pay his bill and he's just gonna thank us for it. Yeah, because he actually does work for the sorceress in this game. He is a downright villain in this game, like an implied villain, like he was in Spyro 2.
I hope you appreciate this favor I'm doing in letting you out.
That's good of you, mate. No hard feelings, eh?
Right. After all, I'm just doing my job.
I reckon you'd be one of them dragons then.
Yeah, named Spyro.
Never thought I'd see one. You dragons used to rule this entire world, you know. Then all of a sudden you left. Poof.
Dragons used to live here?
Didn't you know? They say it was over 1,000 years ago, I think.
And they just left?
Yeah, and the weird thing is, after they left, all the magic in the world just sort of went with them. I mean, they say this world used to have magic coming out the wazoo. Flying ships, singing forests, wishing stones, you name it. But when the dragons left, it all just dried up.
Is that why some of the portals don't work?
Yeah, they're starting to fade out too, one by one. Well, I gotta get back home and do some damage control. Come visit anytime you like.
Sheila is pretty much the first character in the entire Spyro franchise that we can play as. That's not Spyro. And Sheila will always have that reputation of being the first playable character is not Spyro. And Sheila's often considered to be like the Jar Jar Binks of Spyro. People don't seem to like her as much. She does jump around. She doesn't really have much weapons or much stuff. She just jumps really and kicks stuff down, and that's about it. And I thought she has some pretty good skills. She's a pretty underrated character overall. She is really good at jumping and platforming, and she can really jump really high, kind of like Robert from Jumping Flash. I often use this game as like an ode and testament to how the PS1 has really changed a lot, really evolved and come a long way over the course of 5 or 6 years. In 5 years before this, we had Jumping Flash, and now we have this game, which is far superior to Jumping Flash in most respects. Not necessarily a better game than Jumping Flash, but still has, this game is a lot more advanced. There's so many collectibles and so much progression and stuff. We're going to where Sheila lives, which is supposed to look like the Alps, the Swiss Alps. She's a kangaroo that lives in the Swiss Alps, along with those mountain goats, and each one has a different name, something the mountain goat. And yet there's no mountain goat in this game named Spyro. I remember there was a song someone wrote that went, Spyro the mountain goat, Spyro mountain, that's Spyro the mountain goat, a Spyro the mountain goat. Someone wrote that song to the music of the Spiral Mountain from Banjo-Kazooie, and it was Spyro the Mountain. It sounded more like he's supposed to be saying Spiral the Mountain Goat, but it sounds more like he's saying Spyro the Mountain Goat. And then that's making me want a crossover of Spyro and Banjo-Kazooie. That would be an epic crossover if Spyro was in Banjo-Kazooie as a mountain goat, because Mumbo used magic on him that turned him into a mountain goat. Spyro the Mountain Goat. Guys explaining how we could do high jumps, even though you already figured out how to master the high jump at this point. So we kind of needed that to get to this point. So it's kind of redundant that this goat is telling us all this silly, stupid goat. It's got some gems there. Sheila has the ability to do what's pretty much Spyro's equivalent to the head bash, but she could do it right off the bat without having to pay money bags for any additional upgrades. They could have done that in this game. They could have made all the characters need additional upgrades and money bags, so it could be a way for money bags to get more money, to fork more money from us, to make us cough up some more cash. But thankfully he doesn't do that. Buying Sheila alone was already enough. There's got another egg there. All the characters in this game pretty much just act closely like Spyro, where they collect gems and eggs, and they have some odd, unique abilities, and that's about it. You're going to be fighting some of the primitive ancestors of the Ratchet and Clank enemies. A lot of the enemies in this level, especially in this game in general, there's a lot of enemies that look like Ratchet and Clank enemies. You can use her high jump skills. She's also a bit like Bomb Jack, too. It can jump insanely high over things and fly around stuff and collect stuff. To think of it, Bomb Jack in a lot of ways was kind of like the original Collectathon game, since it did involve a mass amount of collecting stuff. And even Pac-Man was kind of like that too. Pac-Man had a lot of collecting. He collects dots in his mouth. He swallows dots whole and collects them that way. So it's in a lot of ways, Pac-Man kind of was also an original Collectathon. I wonder what their true first Collectathon ever was. Collectathons actually are a lot more common than we think they are. They got all these gems open here, so you can collect all these multicolored gems. So many different colorful gems in this game. Oh, I'm not sure if they added any colors in Spyro 1. I never actually paid much attention to that. Did they add any colors into Spyro 2 or 3 that are not present in Spyro 1? That I don't know. Gold gems are worth 10 gems, and there's this hut over here that's blocked with that boulder. We could destroy it using Sheila's stomping move. I think it's called a stomp or something like that. And we haven't even explained how to use it yet. But I know how to use it because I've played this game tons of times before. I'm very familiar with Spyro 3, especially the specific levels. I've played it tons of times. I remember playing Spyro 3 for the first time after 3 years, and this was one of the levels I played. I remember playing this waiting for Full House to come on, because that show was being aired every day on a local TV channel, so I would play this until Full House would come on. I even set my watch, too, to make it beep, telling me that Full House is going to be on in a few minutes. I remember being in the middle of this level when I suddenly heard my watch beep for that. Then we go out and rescued Jenny. Yeah, Jenny was a friend of mine. I actually got that album recently from The Killers, their first album. The first song, it's called Jenny Was a Friend of Mine. A lot of people seem to talk highly about that album. And they have the right to do so, because it's such an awesome album. I doubt my mom would like it that much. My mom doesn't like a lot of the same music that I like. What do you expect? A lot of kids are embarrassed that their parents still listen to Elvis, when kids would rather listen to cool stuff like Eminem, is what Eminem keeps saying in that song Without Me. I actually found an alternate version of that song on I was looking through my Seagate hard drive that has all my father's Napster music from the late 90s and early 2000s. I found an alternate version of Without Me by Eminem on there. I never heard of it or seen it anywhere else before. I wonder if it's like an official thing, or if people actually know about it, or if it was like some unreleased stuff, I don't know. It might be, from what I know, I could be the only person in the world that has access to it. It could be a form of lost media, and people might be really wanting it, and I wouldn't know because I don't really check my stuff. A lot of lost media, a lot of time ends up getting found because someone just had a copy of it on their device. Maybe it was their phone or their camera or their computer or something like that. It's just odd archives and stuff that was filmed back in the day. I wonder if any of my videos ever become lost media eventually. I don't want any of my stuff to become lost media, which is why I back up stuff to archive.org a lot. I've been able to back up stuff to archive.org recently because archive.org is still partially down from that cyber attack it suffered 2 weeks ago or so. I hope archive.org never goes offline permanently. That'd be pretty bad. Archive.org is what allows us to preserve a lot of lost media and lost content and stop stuff from becoming lost. So we went over there, collected all these gems. I wasn't just focusing on gem collecting, gem hunting. So he's going to give us some more useless information about how to control. Never forget how to control character. Well, we've controlled this character all this time and got her up to this point. I don't think we forgot how to control this character, so you should have put that near the beginning of the level. That's where you're more likely to forget how to control a character. But at this point in time, pretty much mastered Sheila's controls. I don't think we'd forget how to. At least we wouldn't have made it that far then, so our message is kind of redundant. There's one of those containers. There he is, container thing. So if we were Spyro, we would have bashed that, but we're not Spyro, we're Sheila, so we could just stomp on it and destroy it and collect all the gems that come out of it. You high jump. I think there might be some, I'm not sure if there are any eggs hiding on some of these ledges. These intricate ledges that can only be reached by Sheila jumping very high. There's more gem there, there's another gem there. It's mostly collecting gems. I don't think those torch things have gems hidden in them. Remember there was one, I think it was in Spyro 1, there was one level where you could actually get gems out of the torch things, like charging into them or something like that. I think it was in that ice cavern level in the first Spyro. It took me like over a year and a half to figure out that's what we were supposed to do if those then allowed me to collect more of the gems. Look at this, throw one up there. This game is very generous with giving us one-ups. So we're going to end up with, I think by the time this Let's Play is going to be done, I think we're going to end up with about 40-something lives. You are going to get killed quite a bit in this game. This game is a lot more challenging than the first two Spyro games. We're going to get killed a lot, so we're going to have to save up a lot of lives, so we get killed, we'll never see a game over screen. I don't even know what the game over screen looks like in this game. I don't even know what the game over screen looks like in Spyro 1, because I never got a game over in Spyros 1 and 3. I've only ever seen the game over screen in Spyros 2 and 4. Because I got those games when I was a lot younger and I sucked at games, so I got game overs in those a lot more. But I don't know what game over screens look like in Spyros 1 and 3, because I got them years later. Oh, look, I see there's boulders over there. There's going to be more gems hiding behind there, hidden gems. Literal hidden gems. Some people consider this game to be a hidden gem because a lot of people don't really remember Spyro anymore. A lot of people don't seem to know about Spyro much these days. Spyro isn't in very many things anymore. He's kind of a forgotten character, like a character faded into obscurity. Think of all the other characters in this game, like Sheila, for example. Did Sheila ever appear in any games after this? I have no idea if she ever did. I don't think she did. I know she wasn't in Spyro 4, then again, a lot of characters that were in this game did not return in Spyro 4, so I should know she's not in Spyro 4, that's for sure. I'm not sure about the ones after. I never actually played any of the Spyro games after Spyro 4. Even then, I haven't really played, well, I only played Spyro 4 quite a bit, but I haven't really played much of the Spyro games after. So this mountain goat, this Bobby mountain goat, is going to give us what I think is the last egg, and it's named Nan. What kind of name is Nan anyways? Almost sounds like it could be short for Noonan, which is one of the monkeys we captured in the original Ape Escape. Noonan? Like in the first level when we capture him. Oh look, there's some more plot.
Ooh, look out, Hunter. It's the scary sorceress.
I've warned you already. This place isn't safe for small dragons and pussycats.
Thanks, but I think we can look after ourselves.
Try looking after this!
Come back when you finish witch school, okay?
Say, is it just me? Or is she kinda cute when she's angry?
The adventure continues. It's going to show us this screen. We're going back to the Sunrise Spring World. And now we've 100% completed 2 levels of this game, now one of them being Sheila's level. So Sheila is a character we now have full access to. This is Ray Phoenix signing out.